All right, y'all. I am back for another petty pop up. Real heavy on the petty. I'm just here to state my petty opinion. Everything said in this video is alleged and, in my opinion, and used for educational and entertainment purposes. All right, I am here for the recap of House of the Dragon, episode number 7, The Red Sowing. Y'all, let's go. All right, y'all. So, the opening scene, in this one, Rhaenyra has found Sea Smoke and Adam. Adam immediately bends the knee and says that she was like, "What do you want?" And he was like, "He just wanted to learn the ways of the dragon and to serve her." So Rhaenyra was like, "That was quick." So Adam just let her know that, this dragon came to me. Your dragon chose me. Okay. So Rhaenyra was like, trying to figure out, like, how is this possible? Like, well, who your mama now? He was like, well, my mama was shipwright. My father was like no one of important straight line because he know who his dad is. But she was like, so any of your people are Targaryen? And he was like, we not the kind of people that keep records. So I don't know. But anyway, so Rhaenyra was like, okay, can you get him to Dragonstone? Follow me. So they go to Dragonstone. She's got another rider for Sea Smoke. Okay. So in the next scene, we see Orwell tending to Alicent's arm from her and Helena having to break out and run from the small folk in the last episode, and she got her arm cut. And after she gets her arm seen too, she goes out and tells her guard that she wants to go out to the Kingswood. And he was like, "No retinue?" She was like, "No, that's like retinue. That's like an assistant or an advisor." She was like, "No retinue." He was like, "No handmaiden?" She was like, "No handmaiden, just you." And he was like apprehensive about it. He was like, "Okay." So in the next scene, we see Lord Jasper kind of cozying up to Lord Larys to tell him that he heard that Sea Smoke has a new rider. So he's trying to find out from Larys if he should tell Prince Aemon. He's like, you the bootlicker, you would know. You would know if I should tell him or not. Larys was like, yeah, but this your tea, not mine. So they were trying to, like, guess who the rider might be. And they thought it was Rhaenyra, but Larys knew that Rhaenyra had already tried to claim Sea Smoke and almost got. So he was like, no, they couldn't come up with nobody. So Lord Larys said, you can tell him if you want to, but I wouldn't say nothing. So in the background, we have these two. Do y'all remember these two? These are actually King Aegon's knights. These are his friends. And Aegon, these are the ones that was with Aegon when he was teasing Aemon at that brothel. So guess what they did, y'all? They said they started a riot. So guess what Prince Aemon decided to do? He sent their ass to the wall. Okay? They took what you call that they wearing on their back? Anyway, they took their coat, I guess, like robe, like that they have on them, and sent their ass to the wall for starting a riot. So Larry's gonna say, yeah, Prince Aemon is merciful. Yeah, Prince Aemon is a lot of things, but merciful is not really one of them. Okay, so now we are back at Dragonstone. One of the King's Guard comes in and announces that the Queen is unharmed. So Lord Corlys asks, who is the rider? Do we know him? Come to find out, is one of his shipwrights. And you could tell by the look on his face, he was kind of putting it together as one of his sons. But of course, he didn't say anything. So Big Mouth Lord Bartimus, he ain't learned nothing. Rhaenyra slapping him ain't taught him a thing. He was like, commoners can't go around claiming dragons. Shut up. Anyway, lowborns can't just go around claiming dragons. That man's a thief. So anyway, Lord Corlys, they looked to Lord Corlys for leadership, and he said, "We will wait to hear from the Queen before we pass judgment." I say, now we got some wisdom on the council, okay? So it was telling the rest of the council that Rhaenyra had ordered that he be a guest, and that she wanted him to learn Valyrian and the final points of dragon riding. So everybody's just confused. Like, someone's upset. Jace didn't like it at all. And everybody is just confused about, what's going on. So they was looking for Rhaenyra, and they announced that Rhaenyra was not coming to the meeting. Okay, so instead, Rhaenyra goes to speak with Mysaria, who has been her wisest counselor so far. And Rhaenyra's kind of anxious, like she's excited, like she was like, Sea Smoke has chosen a rider, and they live in a very, very classy society. So, there's a lot of talk of, different stations where people, they're different stations in life like that. I guess that really meant something to them back then. So now she's thinking about finding riders for Vermithor and Silverwing. And so she said, she's gonna look again and look through the books and try to find someone with a more direct line, because of what happened to Sir Stephen Darkland. And Mysaria laughs and say, "Look, you'll do better looking under the bed sheets, because in the wood piles, because there's plenty of bastards, plenty of Targaryen bastards, right?" So Rhaenyra was trying to say that, in the highborn houses, that there's this ancient fealty, like there's an honor that goes along with it. And Mysaria had to remind her, yeah, your two highborn brothers are currently waging war against you right now. You know what I mean? She's like, that's not really honorable, is it? Rhaenyra, sat and she thought about it. She was like, yeah, you're right. And, Mysaria was telling her, look, things have changed. Embrace it, And, Rhaenyra sat with it and thought about it, because, like, this whole time, she has been pouring through the history books, trying to find a strategy, trying to find a way to move forward with this war. Like, how does she defend herself? And she hasn't been able to come up with anything. The council hasn't given her any wise instruction. So she's been trying to figure out, like, what am I going to do? And so Rhaenyra sat with it for a second, and she said, for 20 years, they've been talking about her kids leveling insults behind her back. She was like, let's raise an army of bastards. So I was like, in the grand scheme of things, with what she has to deal with and what supplies and what, she has available to her, it's a pretty decent strategy, for the time, right? Okay, so in the next scene, Adam is looking around his little quarters in the palace, and Corlys comes in to talk about, he's like, look how you come up in the world. Adam immediately asks for permission for leave, from his job as a shipwright. I mean, just stand up kind of person, right? Corlys grants his leave, but he doesn't really know what to say other than that, well done. He gave a quick, well done, and just leaves, because it's kind of clear that Adam and Alan are a testament to whoever raised them, and that wasn't him. But, usually it's the mother or somebody that takes time, with the young men, and it shows in their behavior. But he can't really claim any of the good things that Adam is doing, because he's never acknowledged him as his son. Okay. So in the next scene, we go to Harrenhal, where we see Sir Simon informing Daemon that Lord Tully and the River Lords have arrived. So Daemon offers his condolences on the passing of Lord Tully's grandsire and congratulates him on his ascension to the head of his house. Lord Tully says, I did nothing. He was like, well, you were here, so Lord Tully was like, you dismissed me the last time. You was quick to dismiss me the last time. Basically, Daemon was like, well, you was of no importance to me now. Right now, you got a decision to make. And I hope you make the right one. So Lord Tully was like, forgive me, I'm new to all this, but it seems like, you've made a big mess here. And so Daemon was like, well, whose side are you on? And Lord Tully basically said that, my house swore an oath to King Viserys, and we recognize Queen Rhaenyra as his heir and you as her king consort. Daemon said good, and then he was like, let's go so you can call your banners to war. And Tully was like, hold up. Daemon said, I was told that y'all was gonna posse up when House Tully declared allegiance. And he was like, that remains to be seen if they even gonna follow me. As new as this is to me, they all hate you. So Daemon was like, I don't need their love, I just need their swords. So they go out to speak to the River Lords, and the Rivermen, they abide by tradition. So Daemon was like, new Lord, new beginning, kind of let's put all the stuff I did to the side. And, he has, in his wisdom, pledged your house, it pledged you and your house to me. And so, now it's time for y'all to bend the knee. So one of the lords yelled out, why should we follow someone so young, when you would align yourself with someone who would kill children to make a point? So, and he said, in the past we followed your grandsire, and your forebears. So why should we follow you, And Lord Tully was like, look, I don't like him either, but I'm going to be loyal to my grandsire's wishes. And, he swore to Viserys, so Rhaenyra is the heir. And, I don't see no reason to cast aside loyalty, no matter how trifling Daemon is, right? Because he was acknowledging clearly that Daemon ain't shit, right? He said basically, I am a riverman and the word of my house stands, Daemon basically said, I was wrong, but if you honor him, you have to stand with me. So Sir William Blackwood, that's when he chimes in and says, he pledges his fealty because he was doing his dirty work. He was doing Daemon dirty work. And, he's tried to throw saying that he only did what was necessary and he only did what was required. And so he here up and pledges his fealty. And Lord Tully says, I accept you as my vassal. But, you didn't have to be so savage. You did it because you wanted to, basically. And I'm Lord Paramount to all, so I have to, judge everything, the whole situation. And, he tells Daemon, look, if you want to show contrition, which is like remorse for what you have done and prove yourself worthy of our banners, you have to denounce these crimes and dispense justice. So Lord Willem was like, and he told the people to seize him, and he was like, look, I've been faithful. He was like, look, or tell them what to do now. I only did what you told me to do. And I mean, I really think he thought for a split second that Daemon was going to save him. But, when they put it like that, Daemon actually came here to raise the army. That's the only reason why he's here. He don't really care about nobody. So, of course, Daemon quickly dispenses with justice. And Lord Willem Blackwood is done for. Okay? So that was a really, really dope scene. I really liked how that came together. So after that, then Daemon goes into his little quarters to find Viserys sitting on his bed. And not just the Viserys that he remembers, the Crypt Keeper looking Viserys, right? And he's holding the crown and he's telling Daemon that, I never wanted the crown, because he said I was right not to want it because it crushes whoever wears it, all the pain that it caused. He said, but you always wanted it. And he asked him, do you still want it? And he was just looking at it. I think the reason why they've been doing these visions and going down memory lane with Daemon, showing him how he should have responded as opposed to how he did respond to things, is that he's kind of like contemplating how he's gonna move forward. So anyway, all right. So the next thing we get is at King's Landing. Orwell is trying to help Aegon walk, and Larys comes in and tells him, you shouldn't be doing that alone. And he shouldn't. That's kind of idiotic. You're trying to help somebody who's completely immobile, not unless you're just super, super strong. I mean, you should be. It should be a two-person job. And with him supposed to be a Grand Maester or whatever he is, he should have known better than that. So Larys tells him, you need to be more careful. Basically, it's my meal ticket you're playing with, okay? And he tells Aegon, that his strength will return and that he needs to keep trying to work on it and get his strength back. So he tells Orwell that he needs to try it again with him in a few hours. And Orwell was like, he's spent, Larys was basically saying he gonna be spent. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a while before he can relax again, right? So, all right. The next scene is we go back to the docks at Driftmark. We have Lord Corlys telling Alan that what he needed him to do, and Alan is listening. And he told him that there was a new dragon rider. Adam said that he heard tell of it, but I don't think he knew that it was his brother, Adam. So Corlys tells him that it was your brother. And he was saying that, he, that she's also looking for others. And he said he'll admit that, he didn't know much about his mother's heritage, like if it's something in the blood, but that his family's from Old Valyria and they're not really dragon riders. And he said that Adam was always restless, searching for some sign of his worth, that he's a worthy person, how he's gonna make his way in the world, but that he is of salt and sea and that he don't want nothing else. And so here is another missed opportunity for Corlys to speak to his sons, talk about the past, try to rectify some of the hurt and pain, and explain himself as to why he didn't acknowledge them, and what he plans to do going forward to acknowledge them. And he completely missed the mark. Okay. So in the next scene, y'all, they show Rhaenyra and the young princess leaving the Vale. So they are being escorted to Pentas, right? And so it's like a little sad little march. Rhaenyra just looks like she would rather be anywhere else. And they look up ahead and you see that the little princes have their own attendants. They have, all these people guarding them, taking care of them. So what y'all think Rhaenyra did? Rhaenyra dipped. Rhaenyra said, I'm going to give me a dragon, okay? I'm not going to babysit and take care of no kids. I am going to get me a dragon. The heart wants what the heart wants, okay? Okay. So in the next scene, we're back at Dragonstone, and Jace confronts Rhaenyra about the new, dragon riders, and he says, the Targaryens are the blood of the dragon. If anybody can claim a dragon, then what are we? And Rhaenyra was trying to explain, and he was like, well, what if they decide they want to rule the Seven Kingdoms? What you gonna do then? And Rhaenyra was just like, what you want me to do? What do you want me to do going forward? She was like, are you gonna fly against Vhagar? Should I fly against Vhagar? We gotta strategize and plan, so we can try to end this senseless war. And Jay started questioning her because what was really on his mind was his succession. All of this that she is going through, he's gonna have it 10 times harder because he does not. Rhaenyra is truly a Targaryen. She's got all the hallmark signs, and we all know that she's a dragon lord, has been since she was a child. But he, on the other hand, has dark hair, which puts his parentage into doubt, right? So he says, did you think that I would have dark hair? I'm no fool. I can argue my legitimacy to succeed you because I have a dragon, but now you say you're gonna take that from me too. And Rhaenyra understood where he was coming from. She was like, look, I don't like all of this, but we got to move forward to try to end this war. And so Jace was like, look, don't pursue it. And Rhaenyra said that she have to move forward with what the gods laid before her. She said she can't gainsay, which is like to deny. So she was saying she can't deny what the gods have laid before her. Okay, so in the next scene, we see Mysaria give Alan a note to give to somebody. So, remember a couple episodes ago, we was wondering, like, where is Elinda going? What is she doing? Okay, so now we can see the plan, what they were doing. They sent Elinda to King's Landing to be based in King's Landing so they will have a person there so that they could work on their plan. So, Mysaria gives Alan a note. Alan takes the note and passes the note off to one of the fishermen. The fisherman brings the note to Elinda. Okay, Elinda reads the note and gets straight to work. When you see this red Robin Hood cape, honey, Elinda is finna go put in some work. Okay, so Elinda gets to go around the city whispering and whatnot, telling them, what the plan is, what the next move is. So obviously, she is telling them that they are looking for Targaryen bastards, that they're going to present them with an opportunity to claim a dragon, which would ultimately change their lives, right? Okay. So, in the next scene, we see some of the small folk in the tavern gathering, talking about, the latest gossip that, dragons see. Hey, this is your opportunity. Ulf, you can gain a dragon. You gain a dragon, you don't have to worry about nothing, But Ulf is real insecure. He doesn't really know if he's a Targaryen or not. There's something kind of off about Ulf. I can't put my finger on it, but he's kind of off. I don't really care for this one. Okay, but then they show Hugh talking with his wife about the same opportunity. All the small folk are talking about it, and he was saying that he hid that his mother was a prostitute, from her, and that he saw her, but he didn't know who his father was, but he knew who his mother was, and he was ashamed of her. But he said she worked in the pleasure houses, and that Viserys and Daemon are her brothers. I was like, how wild is that? If they her brothers, why is she working as a prostitute? Isn't that weird, y'all? But anyway, Hugh was telling his wife, she does not want him to go. But he was telling her, I wasn't able to protect you, wasn't even able to keep our child alive, but, I've got to do something. And if I can claim a dragon, they make you a maiden, a lady. And she was like, I don't really want to be all that. And I don't want to be a widow either. But he was like, look, I got to do something. Our situation is destitute. We got to do something. So they show all of the dragon seeds, boarding the boat to go to Dragonstone. All right. In the next scene, they show Alicent, which is kind of weird, like a weird offshoot. I know Alicent is in the wilderness, in the Godswood. I guess deep in thought, kind of feeling rejected and outcast, by her sons, probably rethinking her position and the things that she has done to put them in power. So Alicent is having a moment. She's trying to rethink her movements and what she's gonna do going forward. All right, now they show us the dragon seeds arriving in Dragonstone. Rhaenyra don't waste no time. She goes down to the dragon pit where she meets the dragon keepers, who are upset. It was like, the last one you brought in here was What did he say he was? He was like, these people are not dragon lords. Why you keep bringing the last one you wrote that burnt up? Why you gonna keep bringing these people here? They was like, this is blasphemy. We are not playing these games with you, Rhaenyra. So the dragon keepers get upset. They leave. They say they're not gonna continue with this blasphemy. Okay, but that does not deter Rhaenyra from her goal, which is to find dragon riders for Vermithor and Silverwing. Okay, so Rhaenyra gives her speech. She tells them, how, when they have an experience with a dragon, that it's going to change them. That, how could you not be changed? Have an experience with a dragon. And she tells them about Vermithor, and she tells them that they call him the Bronze Fury, that he is the second largest dragon. He is the next biggest dragon next to Vhagar. And it sounds good when she's saying it, but it's kind of like the kind of thing, like when somebody tell you something, okay, you listen, but when you see it, honey, I would have quickly vacated the premises. Okay, I would have changed my mind. Okay, so I get it. They have been building this, storyline that the small folk are destitute, they hungry, they don't have much, they're lowborn in society, and an opportunity like this could kind of like change their life and all of that. But honey, when I would have been presented with Vermithor, that would have changed some things for me. Okay. So we know that Rhaenyra is a dragon lord, and she marches these popos out. She calls out Vermithor, and she kind of calmed him a little bit, because Vermithor is a huge, ferocious beast, okay? And she tells them, like, I have nothing more to tell you. It must be the dragon who speaks, okay? And so Rhaenyra leaves these poor fools with Vermithor, okay? And Vermithor was like, oh, you brought me some snacks? Vermithor was like, what's this? So Rhaenyra turns it over to Vermithor, and Vermithor promptly lit their asses up. Okay, Vermithor was a clown, and he was chewing people up. He was spitting people out. He was burning people. He was burning everybody, knocking people over. He just was acting a clown. Okay, Vermithor was like, look. So finally, Hugh had enough. He was like trying to defend one of the dragon seeds from Vermithor, and he just decided, look, I'm ready. I done had enough, if you gotta take somebody, take me. And Vermithor was like, I'm gonna take a whole lot of y'all. But anyway, he did succumb to Hugh, and Hugh claimed Vermithor. Okay, on the other hand, and this goofy mug here, he kind of stumbled his way into finding Silverwing kind of like by accident, right? And so he Ulf claims Silverwing, or better yet, Silverwing claims Ulf, because they were starkly different. Vermithor, Hugh claimed Vermithor on his feet, kind of like in a power move, and Silverwing kind of claimed Ulf, I guess because he kind of liked him, kind of like the way he smelled. I guess he knows that he has some Targaryen lineage, the way he was smelling them, I guess, because clearly Ulf was on his back begging. He wasn't in no strong position, so it's kind of like they all different. That's why I think they have so many issues trying to figure out what do the dragons want, how can you claim a dragon, because Rhaenyra is a Targaryen. She's a dragon lord. They're given dragon eggs as children. So they're gonna have to try to figure out what it is, because I don't think you can claim a dragon. I think the dragon actually claims you. So anyway, Aemon is at the council meeting, and Lord Jasper is trying to give a report about what's going on in Old Town to Aemon, and he's half listening because he hears something out outside. He hears the people exclaiming outside. He gets up to go and see what are they screaming about. Well, he gets up and sees a dragon flying over King's Landing. This idiot is riding Silverwing over King's Landing. It was kind of like, I felt like it was kind of like a joyride. Like he wasn't expecting it. It's kind of like if you ever took a car you weren't supposed to be in and took it for a joyride. It kind of seemed like it was a joyride to me. However, Aemon sees it and he runs out, to get on a horse to get over to Vhagar and gets up in the air to give chase. Only to find out, getting closer and closer to Dragonstone, that Rhaenyra is promptly stacked with dragons right now. And he don't want it, right? He decided, no, I'll come back another day. So Aemon forces Vhagar to turn. And in the final shot of the episode, we see Rhaenyra on Dragonstone with multiple dragons. I said we're going to call it Dragon City now because she's stacking them dragons up. Okay, so that was it, y'all. So what did y'all think of this episode? I thought it was pretty good. But still, it kind of felt like they were still setting up scenes. I mean, come on, we 7 episodes in. The scene should be set by now, So the finale, we better get some resolution about something in this finale, right? So did y'all have any favorite scenes? I had a few. This one was like this episode. I would have to say this might be one of the best episodes, from this season. I liked Oscar Tully. I liked how he kind of showed he's got moxie, y'all. I kind of like him like I like Kragan Stark. Like Lord Tully is growing on me, okay? Like he really showed he's got moxie. I like the scene with Vermithor and the dragon seeds. Of course, the dragons never disappoint. And I like the final shot of Rhaenyra on Dragonstone, Dragon City. I thought that was a dope shot, So anyway, like I said, this episode was still kind of building and setting things up. So I am hoping that, in the next episode, which will be the finale, that we will get some type of resolution to some things that have been going on all season. So y'all get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Thank you guys for watching, and until the next time, y'all. Peace.